Hello, this is me. Is that you? Here we are. I'm going to show you the Benoit tree. The Benoit tree is up, and we're waiting for the boy to arrive tomorrow. And he does the completing by doing the star and a couple little ornaments. They're kind of customary for the Benoit house. So he'll be doing that once he arrives. We do have some gifties already under there. More to be wrapped soon. And yeah, we just heard from him. So we're going to have everything all done. I'm going back downstairs to work on it. You see my doggy? Here, my Twyla. You want to say hi, Twyla? Hello? You see? Look, you're on the camera. Hey, Spiky. Hi, Spiky. Hi, Spike. Hi, Twyla. Okay. All right. So, we're going to mosey back downstairs. We're going to finish hanging that mirror. That's what my plan is today. And just to add, like I said on my last one, parents will do almost anything for their kids, anything to make them comfortable. So, as you can see, I did the painting yesterday. Everything is fine. In the dungeon bathroom. It's all done. So I just have to install the mirror now, which is going to go here. So you young people who are watching this, you know, I'm the crazy father that'll do anything for the boy. And here we are. I'm still doing it. Here's going to be his space, which we showed you yesterday. Gonna do some cleaning up here. I'm gonna move some stuff still. I got the wall of junk. Well, not really junk, but there's a lot of memories in there. Some things that we can't really part with, but we'll see. I posted a little heirloom here on the wall here for the boy. We had these custom-made propellers made for him with his name on it, laser kind of engraved. So I have one posted for him. I have to put a battery in the clock, so it's the wrong time. But I do have a second one, which I'm not going to put it up because he'll think I'll be a freak. So it's the other one. It says Mackenzie. So we'll put that up another time. So as I was been down here just picking at stuff, I'm finding stuff, which I'm hearing about because I really shouldn't be picking at stuff. I should just be fixing up stuff. But I just can't resist. But anyway, I'm not going to motor on too much about it. I'm just going to do what I got to do. And I'll show you guys a finished product at some point. But he's coming, so it's official. But what I'm going to do is sit here for a minute. And we're going to talk about this young fella. So this is the younger version of me right here. And that's my youngest boy. His name's Mackenzie. He's in the Canadian Armed Forces in the Air Force, and he's stationed in Cold Lake, Alberta. He was always a good student, and from about the 7th grade on, he's pretty much been an honor roll guy, very go-getter young kid. You know, anything he was involved with, I was involved with, giving that support. So I ended up becoming a director in the Air Cadets. I've been holding that position for a long time. I used to look after 3 squadrons. So I used to do Barrie, Midland, and also Alliston. I had a couple hiccups in health and kind of went south a little bit. So pulled away, and I'm still accredited, and I'm a director at large. So once they start meeting again and doing things in person, I'll probably be a little more involved at that time, but I don't know when that callback will be. So then I'll be helping kids again. So that's what I do. As you can see, you know, the young fellas, even the young ladies. They need that mentorship. So take your take your interest in your kids and participate with them. So my boy wanted to be in the Air Cadets, and I went right along with him. All right. So that validated him that, okay, what he's doing is okay. And I went as a volunteer with him, so I do his weekly, meetups and for him to do his training and stuff. And next thing you know, I had the old noose around the neck where they kind of pulled me in as a volunteer because I was always hanging around. And then the rest is history from there. So I ended up being a squadron volunteer. Then I crossed the floor from the committee. And then I ended up becoming the supply officer for a squadron in Brampton. I held that role for quite some time and did some instructor roles too. And I enjoyed that immensely. Seeing all the young guys and young ladies, meet all those little goals that they set for themselves from year after year, getting promoted and stuff. It was really neat to see them strive for those little goals and get their successes and wear those badges with pride. Some of those kids even today, I'll pass them on the street and they recognize me, and I guess my face doesn't change much, but theirs most certainly does. And some of them say thank you and hi and you remember me and stuff. And some I will, some I don't remember because they've grown. But literally thousands of kids have passed through my classrooms, training courses, on trips and stuff. And it was really a highlight of my my fatherhood, you could say. You know, watching my boy go through that program, it was good. He aged out, and he was a warrant officer, second class, and he earned everything that he earned there. He, everything from, flying with gliders and so on and so forth. Going on field training exercises and being in the bush, and now he's all grown up and in the Air Force. So he followed his dreams from a young age, and I kind of stayed with him to give that support and anything he needed, and to emphasize that whatever he was doing was good, and building that confidence with him was really pretty awesome to see, because I never had that. I didn't grow up with a father at home, so it was a single mom and an older brother, and things weren't always the greatest. So I had to be resilient and do what I had to do to get through school and try to make a life for myself. But I didn't have that mentorship that most kids would have, with a two-parent family. So when I was raising my boys, I have two of them. My oldest boy, he lives in Kitchener. He's going to be 26 in April. My youngest boy, he's 23. He'll be 24 in June coming. And when I raised these guys, I kind of put on the father hat going, what would I have liked? So what I did was what I thought might have enhanced me and what I would have been looking for in a father. So I kind of put that hat on, and I became the father that I would have had, basically. And it worked out well. And, children don't come with manuals, so there's a lot of trial and error. And I knew this going into, that I was going to have to be extra special to be able to, fill that role as a father when I had nothing to gauge it by. You young people can be complicated at times, and I was too, but it all worked out with positive reinforcement, taking an interest in the child, and really supporting their hopes, their dreams, validating them, spending time with them, taking an interest in what interests them, and that'll help them grow, and they'll find their way, as long as they know they have someone who's holding them, and some of the times that they may struggle from time to time, and help them just get through the process. You might not have all the answers for them, but you can figure it out together. And I think that was the best part about being a dad for me, was I was discovering as they were discovering. So it ended up being probably the best job I've ever had in my life, was to be a dad. If I could have done it 5 more times around, I would have. Hopefully my wife's not looking at this video right now. She probably wouldn't be pleased. But I could have had 10 kids and I would have absolutely loved it, because I enjoy that role of being a dad. So to make a long story short, and I don't want to go on too long, but I want to do like a cap of 15 minutes today. Those young boys and girls, don't be afraid to ask your parents to get involved, and ask them to take an interest in what you're interested in and share. And then basically you can tell your parents, this interests me. Can you support me with this? And build it in small little relationships. It might not work first or second time you might ask for something, but if you're sincere with your parents, and you can ask them to get involved and help you through the process, and I think it would probably be a good positive outcome. I know every time my boys asked for something, we sat down and we talked about it. And we always come to a consensus whenever they needed something, or they were trying to figure something out. It's something we would do as a group. We'd sit down at a table and we'd talk about whatever was going on. And, one thing I did was, I wasn't judge, I wasn't jury. And they could bring anything to me, and there wouldn't be any punitive measures for it, because of the honesty. So again, once you build that bond of honesty, your parents or your kids, it depends which side who's building what, will always have a positive outcome. And honesty is the best policy. All these things you probably heard already. But for the our youth of today, people need to take interest in them. I'm on a journey to do that. I am going to be leaving my 32-year career, and going to take a step back, and I'm going to immerse myself into the community, and see what I can do to help the youth, children, furthermore education. I'm on this quest of, everyone needs to have a role model. Everyone needs to be heard. Everyone needs to be validated. Sometimes a little help along the way might be in the right place at the right time. So this has always been a dream of mine, to be that father I wanted to be. And I got a lot left in me. So even though my boys are grown, I feel good about giving back, and maybe help identify, and maybe help direct, some young people on a better path that they might not have thought of. Be there to listen. Can't fix all the problems, can't rescue everyone, but you can be there when they need someone to talk to and help, figure out a problem. Whether it be painting a wall, whether it be fixing a motorcycle, fixing a car, putting floors down. Some of my best conversations with my boys is when we were involved in a project. So we used to restore motorcycles, ATVs, dirt bikes. We worked on a lot of trailers. We worked on a lot of cars. And We did a lot of custom painting. So we were always dabbling with tools, paint, taking something that was rough, that needed work, and making it beautiful again. And there's a lot to be said about that process, because during that process, it's not just what you're doing as a project, but in that environment, you're having a lot of conversations that normally you wouldn't be sitting down talking about, because it wasn't as free of a space. So to sit and work on a motorcycle for hours and over weeks or months, a lot of conversation is had during that time. So some of my best conversations with my two guys were if we were rebuilding a motorcycle, if we were rebuilding an engine, if we were taking apart a car, or if we were renovating a bathroom or doing flooring or any sort of little project that I could do with my boys. We could be going out cutting down trees. It didn't matter. But during those events, there was always conversations. And right to this day, like my boys can call me up and we can talk about anything. And they know they're not going to get judged. They know they're not going to get ridiculed. That I'm going to listen and help them get through a problem by listening. I won't correct it for them, but I'll be their sounding board so they can come up with an answer to correct their problem. So this way that their thought process will be, okay, we'll figure this out. There's always a way. So one thing I taught them was don't say can't. Because can't means I won't try. And your mind will cut off any solution when you do that. If you sit down, you take the active thought of trying to figure something out, having those conversations, you'll figure out all the problems. It'll all come together. So anyway, those fellas are long on their way, and I'm looking forward to doing these little videos, and hopefully someone will give me some content to do. Otherwise, I'll just sit and talk and talk and talk. I'll figure out some sort of itinerary so I can actually do something in a progressive way. But I'll just get the dust off my shoulders and get used to talking again. I've been standing at a podium for a long time, so this is a good way to get back in the saddle. And going forward, hopefully I'll introduce more projects and little sit-abouts and talks, and maybe get some other people involved as I go along. Maybe when the boy's here, I might get him involved in a couple of videos and maybe get some of his reflections on his childhood. I think I will do that. I'll sit down and we'll do a video, and I'll ask him to talk a little bit about his teenage years, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever he's comfortable talking about, and I'll post that video, and he can tell you and verify, or what I'm telling you right now is what I've done, and he'll be truth. Don't worry. So if I did something along the line, you might even get it on a video. So what the heck? So this is it's going to be fun. I'll bug him this weekend when he gets here, and see if he wants to sit down and do maybe a video or two with me. Because I want at least do 2 a week if I can to help this build a little bit and bring some good content here, especially for discussion. Like I said, I'll make an itinerary. I'll make topics and I'll talk about them, and in the background I'll do projects at the same time, and just either make a fool of myself or you guys will have some comic relief. What the heck, anyway. Today is the 17th of December. School is officially done right now, and haven't got all my marks in yet, but hopefully I did okay. The preliminary marks are pretty good, so we'll see how it goes. I'll report on that too at some point. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Click like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'd like to grow this thing for everyone to enjoy. Have a happy Friday. I'll talk to you soon.